Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is Gamertag and I'm back for your daily Fortnite video. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys the best ways to level up in Fortnite Season 3. Obviously Season 3 is brand new to Fortnite and you guys want to be leveling up through the tiers in the battle pass as quickly as possible. This way we can of course unlock new cosmetic items, skins, variants of the skins, and so on and so forth. There's several reasons why you'd want to level up in Fortnite. Today I'm going to be compiling again the best methods to leveling up. So firstly I'm going to be talking over essentially what you want to focus on when you play a regular public match. Basically things that you want to do throughout that game that's going to allow you guys to receive the most amount of XP possible. Second, I'm going to be talking actually about, in my personal opinion, what is the most efficient way of gaining XP, especially in Fortnite Season 3. This is where we're going to be leveling up an insane amount. And third and lastly, I'm actually going to be talking about a new addition, or a new feature rather, in Fortnite Season 3 that is also basically only added to help us get XP, and basically I'm going to share with you guys what that is and what we actually need to be doing in order to receive the XP opportunity that Fortnite has provided us with. So let's go ahead and hop right into the things that you should be doing and focusing on every single public match in order to get a ton of XP per game. So when you play a regular game, there's three things that realistically give you a ton of XP. Obviously there's really minor things like damage to buildings, damage to opponent structures, and things like that, but the three most important are placement, eliminations, as well as survival time. So whenever you play, whether it be a solo, duo, or squad match, you want to focus on all three of those things. Placement obviously refers to how you place in the game. Obviously if you place in 90th spot, you're not going to get too much XP, whereas on the contrary, if you end up placing in top 5 or top 3 or maybe even winning the game, you'll be getting a significant amount of XP simply from the placement alone. Survival time is kind of going hand in hand with placement. This of course refers to how long you survive throughout the match. So of course if you die within literal seconds of landing, you're probably not going to get realistically any XP from your survival time. However, if you do end up surviving like 10 to 15 minutes, you will see a lot of XP come from that one direction alone. And then thirdly is of course again eliminations. This is self-explanatory, just the amount of people that you eliminate throughout the game. Now to go into detail, I'm not entirely too sure about the numbers in regards to the XP that you get from each of these. However, I do believe survival time you get 150 XP for every minute that you survive up until the 15th minute. At that point it caps off. Now this begs the question of how should you play in a public match. Some people say that you should play extremely passively, focus on your placement and survival time, and then another group of people might state that you should actually play aggressively and try to get the highest amount of eliminations as possible. Well, my personal experience, I've always found that placement and survival time typically does carry more value than eliminations alone. Granted, of course, if I get 15 eliminations in a game, I'll see a ton of XP from those alone compared to the survival time and placement. But if you're an average player and let's say you finish a game with 3 to 5 eliminations at most, majority of your XP alone is going to be from your placement and survival time. So if I could give you any recommendation on how to play, I would say try to find a pretty decent balance between the two. You don't want to play too aggressively to the point you get eliminated immediately, and you also don't want to play too passively to the point that you finish a game with 0 eliminations. Now another thing that is literally like astronomically important when playing public matches is if you're playing duos or squads, play with a friend that has the battle pass as well and has obviously tiered up through it. Essentially the reasoning behind this is because when you play with friends that also have the battle pass, they give you a boost on your XP alone. So if you're playing with a full squad of people and all 3 of them give you a 100% XP boost, basically that alone means you'll be receiving 4 times the amount of XP than you would have been playing alone. So let's say if you play a solo match, you finish and you end up getting 20,000 XP from that game. However, if you perform the exact same with a full squad, you would actually be receiving 80,000 XP in one game alone. So if you don't have anyone online or any friends to play with that you think would help you out with this, then leave a comment down below your Epic account name and what console or platform that you play on. You should be able to easily find a group of people to play with. And again, all of you guys can do a full squad, work together and focus on the 3 aspects that I just talked about: placement, survival time, as well as eliminations. So that is extremely important. Again, it's not necessary to play with a squad or a duo, but if you are, make sure you are playing with people that have the battle pass. This way you can of course like triple and quadruple your XP that you're receiving every single game. Now next up we're going to be talking about the most efficient way to gain XP in Fortnite. I found myself leveling up from 0 to level 20 in a matter of like 15 minutes alone, simply by using this method and focusing on these things alone, and that is challenges. Now don't get me wrong, challenges has always played a pretty massive part in XP single season prior to this one. However, this season the amount of XP you get from challenges is astronomical. So the very first thing you want to do is you want to make sure you complete all of your week 1 challenges. This will help you so much in regards to getting XP. Some of these challenges alone give you nearly 50,000 XP upon completing them, and they're by no means difficult at all. Some of them are literally to search 7 chests or ammo boxes at Rickety Rig, which again takes no effort at all, and honestly maybe will take 2 minutes out of your time playing. And a trade-off of 2 minutes for 50,000 XP, in my opinion, is beyond worth it. Now, theoretically speaking, the best way to go about completing these challenges extremely easily and not really having the pressure of a ton of people around you would be to complete them in a Team Rumble match. This, of course, again, completely removes the pressure of players coming at you by all means, and you can obviously respawn over and over again, and you are not wasting a lot of time at all when completing these challenges. Now, on the top right of the screen, I will have a card or a link that you can click on that will actually take you to a video where I share with you guys a 10-minute guide on how to complete every single challenge extremely easy. So kind of reverse engineering everything, it goes without saying that the best and most efficient way to get XP in Fortnite Season 3 is by the challenges alone, completing them in a Team Rumble match. And then there's also something that's actually been introduced to Fortnite within this season alone, and this is actually going to be in our Battle Pass section. And over here to the left, you guys can see it says punch cards. When you click on this, it brings you to a screen of a bunch of different punch cards, and essentially what these are kind of like little mini challenges that you can complete. Once you finish an entire punch card, you are then rewarded with a significant amount of XP. And of course, the amount of XP you receive for each completely varies on the difficulty and or rarity of them. However, none of them are at all too difficult. For instance, there is a punch card that you have to mine 100,000 materials, which honestly doesn't take too long. There's a punch card to mine 100 trees. There's punch cards to thank the bus driver. I mean, literally you guys can get the idea of how simple these are. And then some of the more difficult ones will be to search like 5 llamas, but again, even that alone isn't too difficult. That just kind of depends on luck in itself. So you definitely want to make sure you are paying attention to your punch cards and making sure when you do play a game, whether it be Team Rumble or a regular public match, that you are making sure to obviously try to complete some of these punch cards throughout the game. Now you unlock these punch cards by simply just playing the game and experimenting. So at the start of Season 3 you would have had 0 punch cards unlocked, but by playing and obviously completing different actions, they then will be unlocked. So do keep in mind that of course punch cards are very important, especially for your XP alone. Some of them can give you like 14,000 XP, and again, they're not too difficult by any means necessary. So to summarize everything we've talked about thus far, we first talked about the 3 aspects that you should be focusing on when you're playing a regular public match. These are the things that would give you the most amount of XP every single game that you play. We also talked about the significance of playing with a duo or a squad that has the battle pass as well. We also then talked about the challenges, and these being quite honestly the most efficient way to gain XP in Fortnite. And I shared with you guys basically the best method to go about completing these challenges within probably about 10 minutes or so. And then lastly, we talked about the brand new edition of Fortnite Season 3 being the punch cards, talked about how important these are, and I should also be focusing on these as well, as they're practically kind of like side challenges that still sometimes reward you up to like 14,000 XP simply by completing the easiest of tasks in Fortnite. So if you take all 3 of the things that I just shared with you guys, and you do in fact actually act on them, and of course implement them whenever you play Fortnite, as I stated in the beginning of today's video, it's definitely not too difficult or out of reach to expect to reach level 100 within 1 day, and of course have that repeat as the days follow. Now if you guys enjoyed today's video or found it helpful, a like would be beyond appreciated, and of course on the contrary, if you genuinely disliked today's video, then by all means feel free to leave a dislike as well. And if you're new around here and would like to see more daily Fortnite content like this in the future, feel free to subscribe as well as turning on those post notifications. Nonetheless, my name is Gamertag. Thank you all for watching today's video, and I'll see you tomorrow. Adios.